Hi there, and welcome to another video. In this video, I wanted to share with you my thoughts about this new movement that's going on, that is underconsumption movement. Basically, the point of it is that instead of over-consuming goods, we try to reuse items, but recycle and things like that. So to me, this movement, it's almost artificially generated, because that's how life used to be, at least for me, growing up in Eastern Europe. So it's not really a new thing. It's something that I do on a regular basis. And now I'm just seeing some of these trends online. So I'm going to go through a couple of things that I do, and I've been doing it for a long time, that might be interesting for you to better understand, and maybe you're curious about how I do it. And I hope this will be also relaxing. And it will include some of the things that I do, some of the tips regarding underconsumption, or this word of underconsumption. But mostly I'll focus on reusing, recycling, doing things differently from the mainstream. The main point is that I rarely buy new things, and that comes with that's clothes, that's kitchen appliances and things like that. And the reason is I tend to save money on that, and I also find people throw out good stuff, and so there's no reason why these items shouldn't be given a second chance. So the majority of items that I buy are used. So let's begin. This is probably common sense for many people, but maybe not. I typically do not buy books unless I know for sure that I will be rereading them. All of the books that I read, I get it from the library. And it doesn't mean that you get that new book immediately at the library. You might have to wait a little bit, but most of the books that I get are from the library, and you can see a ton of books that I have, even those that are more popular, like this one, super popular book. So the only book that I bought so far is a book that I use, I would say, on a weekly basis, and it's this book, Flour, Water, Salt, Yeast. This is for bread baking. And the reason I bought it is because I use it frequently, and I can't constantly borrow it from the library. It contains recipes for different breads, and as you know, I bake sourdough and regular breads frequently, and so I found this book very interesting, so I decided to buy it. But this is the only book so far that I have. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not going to buy books in the future, but before buying a book, I need to know that I will reread it again. So, which is why I typically borrow these from the library, read them, and then decide whether I want to buy this book or not. And let's be honest, 90% of the time, I'll probably never read this book again. So I just return it to the library and not spend a penny. So that would be my first tip. You know how I mentioned that I buy things used? So I bought this toaster convection oven. Well, this is convection toaster oven broiler at a thrift store probably about 2 years ago. It cost me $10. $10. And I use it every single day. It works just fine. Is it pretty? Well, it does have some scuffs. It's not as pretty as originally it was, but it works perfectly. It heats everything up. It toasts everything that I want. So I would say the cost per use for this item has been incredibly low. And there's one channel that I really like, the Financial Diet, and I will link it below, that gives a lot of interesting, good advice. And one of the terms that the lady uses is the cost per use. So it's basically, when you buy something, think about how much you will be spending it per use, whether it's clothing or kitchen appliance or anything like that. If you use it frequently, it might be worth it spending a little bit extra, because over time that cost per use is going to be quite low. Another item that I have that I bought relatively recently, that I featured already on my channel, is that crock pot. So this is the crock pot. It was I bought it on Facebook Marketplace for $20. It was pretty much brand new. I use it at least once a week, and I will continue using it. It's great for baking beans, for making soups, for sauteing something, browning something. I have yet to use it for yogurt, but honestly, that's probably not my priority. But you also can steam things. A lot of potential uses for this item. So I could also say that things like that are bringing me that lowering the cost per use for this item. And $20, right? Well, and while I'm here, I have this amazing cucumber that I grew, so that gives me another tip, I guess, or something that I do, is if I can, I grow my own vegetables. And then at the end of the cycle, is that that this is my first year doing that, I'm going to collect seeds, and I will grow vegetables again from my own seeds. That reduces the overall cost. And so I don't need to buy things. I don't need to buy seeds or soil or anything like that. I can just use my own things. And it's easy to say when you have a piece of property or something, but you can. Some of the things that grow are in just containers because it's more convenient. So it's another way to save a little bit of money and be more sustainable and self-sufficient. Another thing that I do that I consider to be part of this underconsumption movement is, well, it's more cost saving, but it could be included in that. I buy a green coffee. Comes in these green and in these bags, and it looks like this. And I roast the coffee myself in a popcorn maker, regular popcorn maker. You basically pour this green coffee into the popcorn maker, turn it on, and jiggle it around kind of for the coffee to roast. It does a great job evenly distributing heat, and you don't need to buy one of those $500 coffee roasters. And I buy organic coffee as well, which typically would cost me probably $16 per pound roasted at a grocery store, maybe even more. And this, some of the organic coffee is $6 a pound. So this one is a little bit more. I think it's $8 or something along those lines. But still, it's ultimately it saves me money, and I also can control the level of roasting. It's fresher, it tastes better, it smells better. And the popcorn maker, even if you buy it brand new, it's like $25, but you can always find it at a local thrift shop. The one I got for $10 as well a while ago, and it's still working just fine. So that's another little tip. And this is the company actually that I use where I buy all my coffee, and I've been doing this now for probably 12, 13 years, so highly recommend. And now we're in the bathroom. Another thing that I've been doing that contributes to, I guess, this underconsumption movement, and for me it became kind of second nature, is not buy shampoos and body washes and just use regular soap. This is soap that I got at on Amazon, and it came, like, I think in 4 bars. Was relatively inexpensive, definitely cheaper than shampoo. Why do I like it? And it's not this particular soap. I'm just saying soap in general. It's easy to use. You don't really need big bottles that you then need to recycle or anything like that. You open it up, you put it in one of these kind of little bags that you can use as loofah, and it also drains and dries the soap so it doesn't become nasty. Really highly recommend. But basically, you can use this to wash your hair, and then for as a body wash, and for many other purposes. So I do recommend just using regular soap instead of anything that is bottled, basically, and it also saves on space. One thing I do is I don't buy any new clothes unless it's underwear or bras, maybe socks, but that's about it. And I don't buy even those very frequently. So I'll show you one shirt that I have for a long time, and I keep it still for yard work or whatever. So this shirt I got probably about 12 years ago at Walmart. It's so faded. In fact, the brand is Faded Glory. And I bought I think 8 of them. And I've been using them pretty much every single day. Some of them went already, and some of them are fraying, so I have a couple of left. But basically, I wear these things until they're no longer wearable, I guess. So you can see there's some fraying over here. There's a little hole, and then you can see the fabric itself thinned out. But that doesn't mean this shirt is not functional. For yard work, it's perfect, and it's really nice and cotton made. And I believe I paid $2.50 at Walmart when I bought it. So keeping items longer than you would normally, and wearing them longer. Also, another thing I'm doing is I have some clothes that were sent to me by my mother, and I don't like them necessarily too much, but they're very good quality, so I still keep them in circulation. So, for example, when I pick an outfit in the morning, I choose something that I might not like, but it's comfortable. So, I don't really like these shorts. I mean, they're very comfortable, they're roomy, but they really are not very flattering. So I use them to walk around the house, and again, I'm not throwing them away. If I want to go outside, I'll switch into nicer shorts or something else, but at least I try not to throw away clothes unless they're either torn and I cannot repair them, or I'm giving them to a friend, or even donating. A lot of the clothes that we donate end up being in just trash. So another thing I do when it comes to clothing, I try to buy items that are cotton, or mostly cotton, natural fibers. And I also look at the labels to make sure that the label, that I guess the garment is really cotton. So if it's 95+% cotton, this is where I go for. They always add some sort of, well, no, I wouldn't say always, often add some sort of elastic material to make it stretchy. I believe even this shirt, it's 99% cotton, I believe, and it has a little bit of a stretch to it. So those are the fibers that wear down more than when you wash them, the polyester type. And that's why a lot of this Shein or whatever the brand, the company that sells a lot of cheap clothes, most of the clothes are pure plastic, so I'm not sure, I can't see myself wearing them because of the comfort level, but also because of the sustainability. So most of my clothes are cotton or cotton based, with at least 70%. And that applies to pants as well. I have this pair of pants, and I've had this for a long time. It's 95% cotton and a little bit of elastic to they're not very stretchy, but there's some to it. And obviously this part is not cotton, but I've been wearing them for probably 8-9 years, and they wear well. They feel really cozy and comfortable on the skin, and I just like these types of products that last long, and they're made of natural fibers, which is really what I would recommend. Now I do have items that are synthetic as well, and this is from maybe my previous life. Like for example, this top, I used to wear it for work quite a bit, and this is Ann Taylor Loft, and it's 100% polyester, and it looks very nice. It's a great fit, so I keep it and I wear it for like business meetings. So I still don't throw these things away, but I also don't buy them anymore. So yeah, so that's what it comes to clothing. One other thing is shoes. I used to wear shoes, higher heel shoes. So these are from the company that used to, well, actually, Payless Shoes used to sell these types of shoes. It's Comfort Plus by Predictions. I'm not sure if it was their actually company, their brand or not, but I love these. These are they fit my foot very well, which very few shoes do because I have white feet, but these do. So you can see some wear and tear on the heels, which I typically cover like with a black marker. But one other thing is some people throw shoes away when these, I'm not sure what they're called, wear off. You can easily replace them at a shoe store, not at a shoe store, at a shoe repair place. And I know there are not as many of them. Even the cheaper shoes like this, sometimes if it's comfortable, if you like it, just replace this piece. Sometimes you can replace the sole as well, but my soles don't wear as much. So I did this with these shoes. I wore them so frequently. I love these. And you can see that this is brand new. And it's wearing down, but I don't wear them as much. So compared to just throwing them away or donating them to be thrown away, I find that it's important to repair even shoes if you can repair them. Speaking of repairing items, I'm not a great sewer or a person who sews. I don't know what the name of this person would be, but I bought this Sew Essentials kit, I'm gonna say 10 years ago, and I still have a ton of supplies. Let me show you. It's a little bit broken, detached, but it has the most important items that you need to sew a hole or something like that. It has different colored thread, and most importantly, it has a set of needles right here that you can use for any purpose. If you can take them out, that'd be great. Well, they do come out. These are needles. And I also have a cushion of needles that I use frequently, as you can see right here. And this just ensures that if I see a hole somewhere, this garment is not trash, but it could be repaired. And it's kind of almost satisfying to do something like that. I also have some string, like for example, my shorts, pair of shorts that I like, the elastic band is no longer elastic after multiple washes. So I replace it with this elastic band, and it's really easy to do, and again, gives another life to a garment. So you can buy even smaller kits than that. So you cannot buy a cat though. So that's another way of salvaging items. Just repair them and learn how to do it online if you don't know. It's very, very simple. One last thing that I mentioned is cooking at home. As you know, probably, I cook 95% of my meals at home. And these are simple meals. They're not fancy. They typically don't follow a specific recipe. Sometimes they do. But most of the food items that I eat are made by me. Not the food items per se, but the meals. And the reason why it's important for me is because I know what goes into the meals, and I also save money by buying items, products at a farmer's market, and using, and cooking them myself instead of buying takeout, going out to restaurants. It's a huge money saver for me, and I think it contributes to the overall health. Yeah, so I would recommend as well trying to cook at home as much as you can. And my cat, as you can see, really is craving attention. Yeah, yes. So I hope I gave you a little bit of a different perspective. These are the things that I've been doing my whole life pretty much. And it's not new, it's not trendy. I don't consider it trendy. It's just the way things are done. For me, it's always been the way of life, and it's not a deviation from or alignment with some kind of a culture shift. It's just living as I was before, learning some new tips, advice, things like that. But overall, just living reasonably instead of following trends, instead of following social norms or anything like that. Stick to what you believe, and don't look too much at social media unless you really, really want to do some exploration or research. I found that was probably my last underconsumption, is the social media underconsumption tip. I just don't do social media. Yeah, so I hope this was useful, maybe relaxing for you, and take care of yourself. Hopefully you can share with me some of the tips that maybe are useful to you, or maybe give me some tips of what else I could try. And take care of yourself, and as always, be well. Goodbye.